DJM 3220. I don't know if it happens just that way. I can remember being in a situation where I'm training with a coach, and now my coach says, I need you to do 20 reps. I now take the bar up off the rack, take 2 steps back, it's about the squat here, and immediately as I pick the bar up off of the rack, I can feel every bone in my body start to respond to the pressure. And as I took 1 step and then the 2nd step back, I can now suddenly feel the bones in my spine feel like they're being just compressed together. My knees feel like they're going to break, but I exhale, close my eyes, and go. Come down to the bottom of the movement and then stand back up 1 rep, and now I feel like I can barely do another one, let alone think about trying to crank out another 18. If this question is in a moment like that, as I feel like my knees are going to break and I'm finding myself almost about to drown in a sea of doubt and question of, whoa, can I even complete another rep? I think you breathe deeply and you go again, and suddenly, with having done the first one and the 2nd rep and then the 3rd rep, now there's starting to be a little bit of a rhythm that started to generate. If your spotter has stepped up because they see that you looked a little shaky with the first 2, but you pushed on and you got through it, and now you're here and it's rep 7, and you blank out. And in that moment, I guess you've decided that, look, you know what? I'm going to do my absolute best. You probably didn't think it and say it as clearly with your mouth, but your willingness to go and to do. Sometimes the question isn't what you think you can do. Sometimes the question is what you will allow yourself to do by getting out of your own way, not overanalyzing it. Stop trying to think. Don't even process and interpret the information, because sometimes the information will mislead you. Because inside of us is always this need to survive and this desire to want to prevent, damage. I remember in a situation like that, just going and going. And in your going, you answer the question whether or not you can do it. The answer becomes not what you say with your mouth, but the product of your actions. And now, as you complete rep 10, 15, you realize, well, I'm almost done here. We got 5 more. We've already got over the hump, So now it's just a question of doing. It's not a question of doubt, the fear, and all of that. It's a question of just allowing yourself to, okay, we done already did 15 reps here with a weight that we already thought we only had 1 or 2 in us. But we would have, if we listened to that, we would have been misled and we would have fell short of our expectations. So you go again, and now you just breathe in deeper and you just get through these last 5, put this weight back on the rack, and then sit down and untie your wraps real quick. Somebody can always say, oh, I want it so bad. Somebody can tell you, I love you so much. I will do anything for you. But at the moment that there's some kind of inconvenience, the slightest inconvenience comes up, oh, well, I'm sorry. So I think there just comes a time when you just have to put up or shut up, And rather than tell you that I can't do it, rather than just say I can't do it, let me just buckle down and do my best and give myself license to do it. I'm going to do my best, not because I said it's my best and really it was 30 levels beneath what I could really do, but I'm just going to put everything on the line right now and go for it. To throw a quick question, throw something at you really quickly. I remember one time running long distance cross country, and I remember I was in an institutional facility, and it was a kind of drill sergeant dude that was like running like this PT, trying to shape up young men that were, at risk and trouble. So anyway, we're running, and I remember being on this road running, and we did like, I don't know how many miles, but somewhere around the 4th mile, I just thought, look, man, I had this pain in my side, and I'm like, man, whoo, I'm about to start walking, man. I'm not going to be able to get this done. I'm not going to do this. It's over. And I remember the dude, he came running up alongside him and he said, come on, Green. You can do it, Green. You got another 2 miles in you. And I remember thinking, dude, there's no way. Okay. And then it started to burn really bad. And it was just really bad. And I was really, really ready to stop. I was ready to stop. And I said, hey, look, man, I'm about ready to stop. He said, Green, you said that 2 miles ago. I'm like, really? 2 miles ago? That didn't feel like 2 miles. You mean to tell me as bad as that felt, I still had another 2 miles in me? Well, I want to finish this. Maybe I can finish it. Hey, you know what? I'm going to do it. We got to the finish line. I remember standing there, finding him, and then asking, well, how did you know? How did you know that I had another 4 miles in me? He said, oh, that's very simple. Because if you didn't, you'd have been spitting out gravel. In other words, your body would have shut down, you would have collapsed, you would have been eating the ground. So point being, hey man, you don't know what you could do sometimes. Sometimes the only way you will find out is if you're willing to give yourself license to do. So, yeah.
The hunt is over for the best protein in bodybuilding, carnivore.